let's talk about this tiny bad boy, the Canon 22mm f2, but don't let its size fool you because it's amazing. First of all, thank you so much to each and every one of you for supporting my channel. I know there are a lot of new faces, like you there. Yeah, you. And, well, you haven't subscribed yet, so maybe, you know? Anyway, back to the Canon 22mm f2. I've been using this little lens for a few months now, and I must say I am impressed. It's a great little lens for both video and photography. I'll show you some example shots later, but you know what? I'll switch this one with the one over there. There, looks a lot better, right? Okay, so first the size. It's really small, but that's not always a good thing because small could also mean that it's fiddly to use, you know? So too small is actually a problem, but in this case, because this lens is designed for the Canon M series and small is what that series is all about, it's the perfect little lens. If you put this lens on an M series camera, you have this nice compact little camera system that's ideal for street photography, travel, everyday use. And the build quality is somewhere in between. You can feel that it's not super high quality, but it's also not all plastic. I think it's a combination of aluminum and plastic, but I'm convinced that I can use this lens for years. So super small and super light, definitely a pro for this lens because it is designed for that M series, and the overall build quality is pretty good. So what about focusing? Well, the autofocus is excellent. It's fast and super accurate, both for photography and video. The motor hums a little bit, but it's quiet enough. The problem is manual focusing. First of all, there's no button on the lens to switch to manual focus. You always have to go in the menu or use another button, and once you have it turned on, it's not nice. I think the focusing ring communicates with the computer and then the computer tells the motor what to do, and if you're used to a normal manual focus lens, it's not nice at all. I haven't used it that much for photography. And for video, I use it to shoot B-roll, for example. I set the focus manually first with focus peaking and then I just leave it. Don't try to refocus while shooting because it's just too difficult to get it right. Now, I don't think that's a big negative because of the target market. And just leave the autofocus on, it's excellent. Oh, and remember when I said it was really small? That's also a problem for focusing because that focusing ring is just too thin. And you can't focus with confidence. But again, it's a really small negative point in the whole grand scheme of things. Because you know what is really good? The focusing distance. It's really short, 15 centimeters. And that makes it a great lens for macro photography or to shoot B-roll and things like that. It looks great, super shallow depth of field, nice. So far so good, right? Well, it gets better because the focal length is 22mm and that translates to something around 35mm in full frame, and that's the perfect all-around focal length. I've used a 35mm exclusively for years for all my photography, assignments, personal projects, traveling, but also for video it's a great focal length. I record all my videos with my Canon M50 and the 22mm and it looks great. I use it wide open all the time, blurs out the background real nice, so it's the perfect little lens for YouTube videos. But you can also use it to shoot B-roll, travel videos, or if you just go on a walk like we did yesterday. Just for vlogging, it's not wide enough, I think. I'm stretching my arm all the way now and this is the frame. I think a little bit too close in the face, right? And finally, the photography image quality, and what can I say, it looks great. It's sharp all the way to f2, it has a nice blurred background, and because it's f2, it performs really well in low light. And that's important if you have a Canon M50 for example, because that camera is not so great in low light. This lens solves that problem and it's a huge difference compared to the kit lens, which is 3.5. So if you have a kit lens and you're looking for a good, fast, all-round prime, I think this is the one. Let me show you some test shots from our walk yesterday, and you can find the raw files in the description. Okay, first a few unedited shots, and like I said, there's not much to say besides that it looks really good. Sharp all the way, the colors look great, contrast also, And that's a big difference with the kit lens, for example. The kit lens of my M50 is okay, but the colors don't look nearly as good as the 22mm. And here you can see that nice blur in the background. It looks really good for a cheaper lens like this, and everything looks tack sharp at f2. Okay, and now a few photos that I edited in Lightroom with some of my presets. It's quick editing, guys, nothing fancy, but just to show you that there are a lot of possibilities with this lens. One thing though, I shoot RAW only, so no JPEGs. I have no idea what the JPEGs look like, probably okay, but RAW is the way to go for me. And the RAW files from my Canon M50 combined with the 22mm look amazing. Plenty of room to edit. Highlights, shadows, excellent quality. I'll link another video up here where I compare the RAW files of my M50 to medium format. Very interesting comparison. So street photography, landscapes, family, travel, it's all possible. Portrait photography, there is some distortion if you're going really close to someone's face, so maybe not the perfect lens for portrait photography, but everything else, this is the one. And the price, well, I bought it here in Europe for 219 euros, and I think in the United States it goes for something around $230 on Amazon. Now, at first that might seem a little bit steep for a little lens like this, but I think it's the right price. You get a lot in return for that money. So in conclusion, this is an excellent general purpose lens for the Canon EOS M series cameras. Super sharp, accurate autofocus, great image quality, light, portable, everything you want. Definitely recommend it. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.